Are you struggling to get up from your chair lately? Those morning routines you followed for years might actually be sabotaging your leg strength without you even realizing it. What's shocking is that these seemingly innocent habits are silently weakening your muscles day by day, but most doctors won't tell you about them. By the end of this video, you'll discover not only what's causing this weakness, but also the simple changes that can transform your mobility in just weeks. Every morning counts when it comes to maintaining strong legs after 60. The difference between staying independent and becoming reliant on others often comes down to these 7 habits I'm about to reveal. Many seniors notice their legs getting weaker and immediately blame age, but that's rarely the whole story. The truth is, your morning routine could be the hidden culprit behind those troublesome leg cramps and that growing instability you've been experiencing. What if I told you that reversing leg weakness could be as simple as changing how you start your day? Thousands of seniors have regained their leg strength using the approach I'm sharing today. This information is especially crucial if you've noticed increased difficulty climbing stairs, more frequent leg cramps at night, or that feeling of heaviness when you walk. Don't worry, these problems aren't permanent if you address them now. If you want to strengthen your legs naturally and prevent mobility issues, hit that like button right now and subscribe to our channel. Turn on notifications to receive our upcoming videos with more powerful health tips specifically designed for adults over 50. Your future self will thank you for taking this simple step today. Starting your day with dehydration. That morning, coffee might be your daily ritual, but reaching for it before properly hydrating is setting your legs up for weakness. When you wake up, your body has gone through an 8-hour drought, leaving your muscles and circulation desperate for water. Starting your day dehydrated increases your risk of leg cramps and reduced circulation, problems that compound over time for seniors. Many people don't realize that muscle tissue is over 70% water, meaning even mild dehydration can significantly affect muscle function and strength, particularly in the large muscles of the legs that support your entire body. What's actually happening in your body when you start your day dehydrated? Without sufficient water, your blood becomes thicker and circulates less efficiently, especially to extremities like your legs. This reduced circulation means your leg muscles receive less oxygen and fewer nutrients, creating the perfect conditions for weakness and cramping. Imagine trying to run a car with thick, sludgy oil. That's essentially what's happening in your circulatory system when you're dehydrated. The result is a gradual decline in muscle performance that many mistakenly attribute simply to aging rather than this correctable hydration issue. Many seniors report dramatic improvements in leg strength simply by changing how they hydrate in the morning. Try this. Place a 16-ounce glass of water on your bedside table before sleeping, and make drinking it your very first activity upon waking. Don't add anything to it. Not lemon, not vitamins, just pure water to quickly rehydrate your system. For even better results, add a tiny pinch of high-quality salt to help with absorption. This simple habit has been shown to reduce morning leg stiffness by up to 30% within just 2 weeks for many older adults who previously struggled with regular leg cramps and weakness. Proper morning hydration also primes your metabolism and prepares your digestive system for nutrient absorption throughout the day. When properly hydrated, your body can more effectively utilize the potassium, magnesium, and calcium that are crucial for muscle function. Think about it. Why take supplements if your body can't properly absorb them due to dehydration? The connecting. Tissues throughout your legs also require adequate water to maintain elasticity and strength. Without it, you're more susceptible to those painful muscle spasms that wake you up at night. But hydration alone isn't enough if you're committing the next morning mistake that's damaging your leg strength. Extended morning. Sitting. That comfortable morning routine of sitting with your coffee and newspaper could be silently weakening your legs day after day. When you sit for extended periods, especially first thing in the morning, blood pools in your lower extremities rather than circulating efficiently throughout your body. The problem is particularly severe for seniors, because aging blood vessels are already less elastic, making circulation more challenging. Extended sitting triggers a cascade of negative effects, including reduced nutrient delivery to muscles and decreased activation of the very leg muscles you need to stay strong and stable throughout your later years. What's happening physiologically during prolonged sitting is alarming. Your metabolism slows dramatically, muscles begin to atrophy from disuse, and the important nerve signals that maintain muscle tone become less efficient. Studies have shown that just 2 weeks of increased sitting time can reduce leg strength by up to 17% in adults over 60. This is compounded by the fact that morning is when your testosterone and growth hormone levels are naturally higher. The perfect time to be using your muscles, not letting them remain dormant. The extended sitting habit essentially wastes this prime physiological window for maintaining and building the muscle strength that keeps you independent. Many seniors don't realize that breaking up sitting time can dramatically improve leg strength. Mrs. Johnson, a 72-year-old who struggled with leg weakness, transformed her mobility by implementing a simple 5-minute standing and stretching routine after every 25 minutes of sitting in the morning. Within just 3 weeks, she reported being able to climb stairs without holding the railing for the first time in years. Another effective technique is the sit-to-stand exercise. While watching morning news, stand up and sit down 10 times during each commercial break without using your hands for assistance. This simple movement pattern strengthens exactly the muscles needed for maintaining independence and preventing falls. The negative effects of extended sitting are even worse when combined with poor posture, which is common as we age. When you sit with rounded shoulders and a forward head position, you're not only compromising spinal health but also creating a chain reaction that affects hip alignment and subsequently leg muscle function. This misalignment forces certain leg muscles to work overtime while others weaken from underuse, creating muscle imbalances that contribute to instability and pain. The good news is that correcting this habit is relatively simple, but it won't help much if you're also making the next critical morning mistake that destroys leg strength over time. 3. Skipping protein at breakfast. That quick breakfast of toast and jam might be convenient, but it's a hidden saboteur of leg strength for seniors. Most traditional breakfast foods are carbohydrate-heavy and protein-deficient, creating the worst possible combination for maintaining muscle mass as you age. After overnight fasting, your muscles are in a vulnerable state, desperately needing protein to prevent breakdown. Without adequate morning protein, your body actually begins consuming its own muscle tissue for energy, a process that preferentially targets leg muscles due to their size and metabolic activity. This protein deficit creates a daily loss that compounds over time, eventually manifesting as that weakness you feel when climbing stairs. The science behind this is compelling. Research shows that adults over 60 need between 25 to 30 grams of protein at each meal to effectively stimulate muscle maintenance, significantly more than younger adults require. This increased need comes just as appetite naturally decreases with age, creating a perfect storm for muscle loss. The timing of protein consumption is equally crucial. Studies demonstrate that morning protein intake has a greater impact on maintaining leg strength than the same amount consumed later in the day. This is because your body's protein synthesis mechanisms are most responsive in the morning hours, making breakfast protein the most valuable for preserving the leg muscles that keep you mobile and independent. Transforming your breakfast can dramatically impact leg strength within weeks. Consider the experience of Robert, a 68-year-old who struggled with leg weakness until he replaced his typical toast breakfast with 2 eggs, a Greek yogurt, and a handful of almonds, providing roughly 30 grams of high-quality protein. Within just 21 days, he reported noticeable improvements in stability and reduced leg fatigue when walking. Other excellent breakfast protein sources include cottage cheese with berries, a protein smoothie with whey or plant protein, or even leftover dinner protein with vegetables. The key is consistency. Your legs need this protein stimulus every morning, not just occasionally, to maintain strength through your 70s and beyond. Morning protein intake also plays a critical role in blood sugar regulation, which directly impacts leg health and function. When you consume a carbohydrate-heavy, protein-poor breakfast, the resulting blood sugar spike and crash creates inflammatory conditions that accelerate muscle degradation and nerve damage, particularly in the extremities. This is especially problematic for those with prediabetes or diabetes, conditions that become increasingly common with age. Proper protein at breakfast helps stabilize blood glucose levels, reducing these harmful effects and protecting both muscle, tissue, and nerve function in your legs. But even with proper protein intake, your leg strength will still suffer if you're making the next common morning mistake. Or improper footwear. Around the house, those comfortable worn-out slippers might feel cozy, but they could be a primary culprit behind your declining leg strength. Many seniors spend their morning hours in supportless footwear that fundamentally alters their walking mechanics, forcing leg muscles to work inefficiently and leading to progressive weakness. Without proper arch support and heel stability, your legs must constantly compensate through subtle adjustments that drain energy and gradually weaken key muscle groups. This compensation pattern becomes habitual over time, essentially training your legs to function improperly even when you're wearing better shoes later in the day. The biomechanical impact of poor morning footwear extends throughout the entire kinetic chain of your legs. When your feet aren't properly supported, your ankles tend to roll inward, pronate, or outward, supinate, creating abnormal stress on your knees and hips. This misalignment forces certain muscles to work overtime while others remain underutilized, creating progressive imbalances. The small, stabilizing muscles that prevent falls become particularly affected, weakening from improper activation patterns each morning. For seniors already experiencing some muscle loss due to age, these footwear-induced patterns accelerate weakening precisely in the muscle groups most crucial for maintaining independence and preventing those dangerous falls. Transitioning to supportive house shoes can create remarkable improvements in leg function. Dr. Williams, a podiatrist specializing in geriatric care, observed that 78% of his elderly patients with leg weakness showed significant improvements after simply changing their morning footwear. Look for house shoes with features like arch support, a secure heel cup, non-slip soles, and adequate cushioning. Many seniors find that brands specifically designed for foot health, such as Vionic, Orthofeet, or Spenco, provide the right combination of comfort and support. The key is wearing them from the moment you get out of bed, as those first steps of the day set the neuromuscular patterns that your legs will follow for hours afterward. The connection between proper footwear and leg circulation is another critical factor often overlooked. Unsupportive slippers or walking barefoot can restrict blood flow to the muscles of the feet and calves, particularly if you have any degree of peripheral vascular disease, which is common in seniors. This reduced circulation means your leg muscles receive less oxygen and fewer nutrients precisely when they need them most, during morning movement when you're reactivating after hours of sleep. The resulting muscle fatigue contributes to the weakness you feel when walking distances or climbing stairs. But even with the right footwear, your legs will still struggle if you're making the next morning mistake that's destroying your muscle. Strength. 5. Morning medication. Timing errors. The timing of your morning medications could be unknowingly sabotaging your leg strength. Many common medications prescribed to seniors, including certain blood pressure medications, statins, and diuretics, can influence muscle function and strength, particularly when taken incorrectly. Taking these medications on an empty stomach. First thing in the morning can maximize their muscle-related side effects while simultaneously reducing their therapeutic benefits. The problem compounds when multiple medications interact within your system, creating a morning perfect storm that leaves your legs feeling weak and unstable. This medication timing issue affects millions of seniors who never connect their morning pill routine to their declining mobility. What's happening physiologically is complex but critical to understand. Many medications, particularly statins and certain blood pressure drugs, can temporarily lower CoQ10 levels in your muscle tissues. CoQ10 is crucial for cellular energy production, especially in metabolically active tissues like leg muscles. When these medications reach peak concentration on an empty stomach, the CoQ10 depletion effect maximizes, leaving your legs literally energy-starved for hours afterward. Additionally, diuretics taken first thing in the morning without adequate hydration can create electrolyte imbalances affecting potassium, magnesium, and sodium, all essential minerals for proper muscle contraction and nerve signaling in your legs. Simple adjustments to medication timing can produce dramatic improvements in leg strength and stability. Always consult your doctor, but many seniors benefit from taking certain medications with food rather than on an empty stomach, or shifting some evening medications to morning and vice versa based on their side effect profiles. Mr. Thompson, age 73, experienced persistent morning leg weakness until his doctor adjusted his medication schedule, moving his statin to evenings and recommending a small protein-rich snack with his morning diuretic. Within just 2 weeks, he reported significantly improved morning energy and reduced leg fatigue when gardening, his favorite activity that had become increasingly difficult. The interaction between medications and nutritional status is particularly relevant for older adults. Morning medications can alter how your body absorbs and utilizes key nutrients necessary for muscle function throughout the day. For instance, some commonly prescribed proton pump inhibitors can reduce absorption of magnesium, calcium, and B vitamins, all crucial for nerve function and muscle strength. Taking these medications at the optimal time in relation to meals and supplements can minimize these negative effects. Additionally, discussing potential supplement strategies with your healthcare provider, such as CoQ10 or specific B vitamins, can help counteract medication-related muscle issues. However, even with optimized medication timing, your legs will still weaken if you're making the next critical morning mistake. 6. Avoiding morning light exposure. That habit of keeping your curtains closed in the morning might seem inconsequential, but it's silently contributing to leg muscle weakness. Natural morning sunlight exposure plays a crucial role in regulating your circadian rhythm, which directly impacts muscle protein synthesis, hormone production, and even calcium absorption, all essential factors for maintaining strong legs as you age. When you avoid morning light, you disrupt these fundamental biological processes, creating a cascade effect that gradually diminishes muscle strength and function. This light-muscle connection explains why many seniors experience greater leg weakness during winter months with reduced natural light exposure. The scientific mechanism is fascinating. Morning sunlight exposure triggers a precise hormonal sequence that influences muscle health throughout your entire day. When sunlight hits your retinas, it suppresses melatonin production while stimulating serotonin and vitamin D pathways. This hormonal shift optimizes testosterone and growth hormone production, both crucial for muscle maintenance in aging adults. Studies show that seniors with regular morning light exposure maintain up to 15% more leg strength than those with similar exercise habits but limited morning light. Additionally, this light exposure regulates calcium metabolism, ensuring proper mineral availability for the muscle contractions that power every step you take. Incorporating strategic morning light exposure can dramatically improve leg strength and overall mobility. Dr. Chen, a geriatric specialist, recommends that her patients spend at least 10 to 15 minutes outside within an hour of waking, even on cloudy days, as the beneficial blue light spectrum penetrates cloud cover. If mobility or weather issues prevent outdoor time, sitting near a bright window or using a 10,000 lux light therapy box can provide similar benefits. Mrs. Rodriguez, 77, who struggled with persistent leg weakness despite regular exercise, added a 15-minute morning routine of enjoying her coffee on her east-facing porch. Within just 3 weeks, she reported significantly improved morning energy and less difficulty with her daily 2-block walk to the neighborhood market. The connection between morning light exposure and vitamin D production adds another critical dimension to leg health for seniors. While direct midday sun produces the most vitamin D, morning light exposure helps regulate the body's utilization of this crucial vitamin throughout the day. Vitamin D deficiency, extremely common in older adults, directly contributes to muscle weakness, particularly in the weight-bearing muscles of the legs. The combination of adequate vitamin D supplementation, typically 1,000–2,000 IU daily for seniors, though individual needs vary, plus consistent morning light exposure creates optimal conditions for maintaining leg strength and bone density. However, even with proper light exposure, your legs will still weaken if you're making the 7th critical morning mistake. A 7. Ignoring morning stretching and movement. That habit of immediately jumping into household chores without preparing your body first is silently destroying your leg strength day by day. After hours of sleep immobility, your muscles and connective tissues are in their most vulnerable state, shortened, stiff, and poorly circulated. Launching directly into walking, bending, or lifting creates micro-injuries that accumulate over time, particularly in aging tissues that recover more slowly. These repetitive minor injuries gradually reduce your functional leg strength and stability, while increasing inflammation that accelerates muscle deterioration. The morning hours represent a critical window for either strengthening or damaging your leg muscles, depending entirely on how you approach those first movements. What's happening physiologically is a perfect storm that particularly affects seniors. During sleep, your fascia, the connective tissue surrounding muscles, becomes less hydrated and more viscous, essentially sticking your muscle fibers together and limiting their function. Without proper morning movement to rehydrate and realign these tissues, your legs operate at a significant disadvantage throughout the entire day. This effect compounds with age-related changes in collagen structure and reduced natural lubrication between tissues. Additionally, the neuromuscular connections that coordinate muscle firing patterns are temporarily less efficient upon waking, requiring specific activation before they function optimally. Without this activation, your brain-to-muscle communication remains compromised, significantly reducing power output and coordination. Implementing a targeted 5-minute morning mobilization routine can transform leg function for seniors struggling with weakness. The routine should include gentle dynamic movements rather than static stretches, gradually introducing movement patterns that activate the entire kinetic chain of the legs. Simple exercises like gentle knee circles, ankle pumps, seated marching, and supported mini squats prepare your muscles for the day ahead. Mr. Anderson, 81, incorporated such a routine after struggling with progressing leg weakness despite regular afternoon walks. Within just 17 days, he reported significantly improved balance and reduced stiffness. The key is consistency. This brief morning mobility session primes your neuromuscular system daily, gradually rebuilding strength and coordination that many seniors mistakenly believe is permanently lost. The timing of this morning movement is equally critical, ideally performed before breakfast to take advantage of your body's natural cortisol peak, which optimizes tissue response to movement. This doesn't mean exercising on an empty stomach if that causes discomfort. A small protein snack beforehand can be beneficial, but the movement should happen early in your morning routine. Additionally, incorporating specific dynamic balance, challenges like standing on one foot while holding a counter or performing slow clock-face toe touches creates neural adaptations that dramatically improve stability. These balance-focused movements stimulate the proprioceptive system that often deteriorates with age, retraining the complex coordination between your brain and leg muscles that prevents those devastating falls that can permanently compromise independence. The power to transform your leg strength lies in these simple morning adjustments. By addressing these 7 critical habits, starting with proper hydration, limiting extended sitting, ensuring adequate protein at breakfast, wearing supportive footwear, optimizing medication timing, getting morning light exposure, and incorporating gentle movement, you can reverse what may feel like inevitable decline. The key is consistency rather than intensity. Small, daily improvements compound over time, gradually rebuilding the leg strength and stability you need to maintain your independence and continue enjoying the activities that bring you joy. Remember, it's never too late to start. Many seniors see noticeable improvements within just 2 to 3 weeks of changing these habits. What simple change will you implement tomorrow morning? The journey to stronger legs begins with that first small step. Imagine how different your mobility could be just 1 month from now if you start addressing these habits today. Don't wait until weakness forces you to give up activities you love or compromise your independence. The strategies I've shared don't require expensive equipment, medications, or hours of your time. Just intentional adjustments to routines you're already doing. Your future self will thank you for the small changes you make today that preserve your ability to move confidently and independently for years to come. If you found this information valuable, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel right now. Turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming videos with more powerful health tips for adults over 50. In our next video, we'll be revealing the 5 bedtime habits that can dramatically reduce nighttime leg cramps. You won't want to miss these simple but life-changing strategies. Share this video with someone you care about who might be struggling with leg weakness. Remember, knowledge only creates change when it's applied. Which morning habit will you change first? Let us know in the comments below.